Okay. So yan, going back, pasensyahan nyo na if medyo maingay, if there are interruptions coming from my end. Okay, so let me just start with this discussion. This is pricing strategies and approaches in Philippine context. So this was discussed last week. So meron tayong reporters here last week, and then my end of the bargain kasi again I was in Malolos at that time. So mayroon din kaming inatinan na activity. With this I will be discussing my part. So if ever man na meron ng mga na-cover dito, um more of supplementary na lang, supplementary information na lang yung i-cover ko on this meeting. Okay. So first, we have to understand how businesses in the Philippines set their prices to stay competitive. So we have to remember na yung context, context is key. Okay? And the context is that in the Philippine market, iba yung iba yung purchasing power ng mga tao or yung mga consumers natin. Therefore, ang pricing dito sa Philippines, yung well, you can compare naman to other neighboring countries or compare it worldwide, but you have to understand or you have to know what is the context na nasa Pilipinas tayo. Okay, for one, this is a third world country, no? Therefore, yung pricing natin is hugely affected by the purchasing power of the Filipino people, So, these are just some of the brands, yung pinakita ko kanina, some of the brands here in the Philippines, no? So, and then it goes up and down, nagfa-fluctuate yan, no? And then yung pricing din nila, all the more changes depending on the purchasing power of the market, okay? So pricing strategies are essential to businesses to attract customers while ensuring the profitability. So from time to time, you can see prices change, no? So nagbabago yan, lahat tumataas, Kung sa palasak nga, 'di ba, walang forever, lahat yan nagbabago, So in the Philippines, all the more consumer purchasing power, competition, and economic conditions influence, the pricing decisions. So bakit tumaas yung presyo ng sibuyas on a certain time? Bakit tumaas yung presyo ng sugar? Lahat yan ay affected, by the economic conditions. Okay? Purchasing power of people, as I've mentioned earlier. Competition din, competition not just locally but globally, with the advent of technology, with the advent of sorry, may mga ina-admit lang ako, Um Ayan. So parang maliit na kasi, sabi nga nila the world now has become a small village, thanks to technology. So you can order from Temu, you can order at Amazon, you can order at Shopee gets its items from China. So mas madali na, Um mas madaling bumili ngayon ng mga products or avail services worldwide because of technology. Okay? And yung competition, because of that, as I've mentioned, hindi na lang siya local but also abroad. Okay? Gusto mo makatikim ng coffee made from, let's say, made from US or made from Italy, pwede mo siyang orderin online. No? You order the beans and then you make it here. Right? So, ganun eh. Ganun nakatindi ang competition, hindi kagaya dati, na talagang localized siya. Companies nowadays use different approaches depending on their goals, industry, and target market. So kung nasaan ba silang industry, what are their goals? Iba-iba ang goals ng bawat company. Some would want to expand globally. Some are just comfortable in a certain niche na they have chosen. So yan, nagbabago-bago yan. And what I would like to stress out or emphasize is that, as I mentioned earlier, iba yung purchasing power kasi ng Filipinos, no? And we can say na proud Pinoy, magaling, etc. Yan yung common phrase, proud Pinoy. There's nothing wrong with that, but again, nasa third world country tayo, no? Talagang aminin natin sa hindi, mahirap ang bansa. And we can talk about a lot of factors in different meetings or different conversations, ano. But dahil diyan, yung purchasing power din natin affected, ano. And sa Pilipinas ka lang makakakita na lahat ng product merong mini version, ano. Sa Pilipinas mo lang makikita 'yan. Yung sito na maliit, yung standard na iniinom ay meron pang sobrang liit, ano. Okay. Sobrang liit na sito, hindi ko alam kung anong tawag do'n, pero parang mga, I don't know, ₱10 ba siya or ₱15 pero sobrang liit, 'no? Tapos yung Coke na meron ka na ngang yung standard na price ng Coke, maybe it's 48 ₱50, no, I'm not kasi medyo tina-try ko rin ano, i-limit yung soft drinks consumption ko, so medyo matagal na rin akong hindi umiinom ng soft drinks, ano, trying to, maintain my sugar levels, ano. Pero ayan, if I would buy Coke Zero, sa labas natin meron din yung Coke Zero, yung ganyang kaliit, yung parang bunso, 'no? Coke bunso yata tawag nila dun. Sabi ko nga, when I'm, talking to students, darating yung time magiging Coke Lagok na lang yan, parang ano na lang ano, injection na lang sobrang liit na 'no, kasi o parang vial na lang kasi yun lang yung kayang bilhin ng tao, eh. They can just buy for ₱15 or maybe buy for ₱10. So, dahil diyan ay, maliliit din ng liliit yung products na kayang i-offer kasi nga mas maliit. Ito lang yung kayang i-ano, bayaran ng ano, 'no, consumers natin. Sa Pilipinas ka lang din makakakita ng mga chichirya, 'no, na tig-pipiso. I don't know kung ang bangus ay piso pa rin ngayon, yang Mang Inasal is piso pa rin or Ma'am Inasal ba 'yan, I don't know, ano. So, sa ibang bansa wala kang makikita na ganyan. Ang mga standard nila na mga chips malalaki talaga, bags talaga, 'no. Sa atin lang yung meron ka ng maliit na, let's say bumili ka ng Nova or Piatos na meron ng yung normal na pack. Sa tindahan meron pang smaller version na, ganyan. Sa Pilipinas ka lang din makakakita na, what do you call this, toothpaste o di kaya shampoo naka-sachet. Sa ibang bansa walang ganyan, lalo na mga first world countries, puro bottles yan talaga, okey? Ina-avoid pa nga nila yung plastic use or they're trying to minimize plastic use kaya nasa glass lang 'yan. Ito kasi, if you're trying to go green, yung Tetra Pak bawal din 'yan at saka yung mga foil plastics, 'di ba? So, sa atin ganyan, yung 12 pieces na ano, na shampoo, okey? So 'yan. So ako I rarely mag-shampoo naman ano, so alam niyo naman kung bakit, rare ako mag-shampoo, okey. Pero kaya nga minsan naiinis ako sa CR, kasi ang daming mga gupit-gupit ng mga shampoo dun ano. Eh, hindi naman ako madalas gumamit niyan, ako sabon lang talaga ako, dire-diretso na yon mula ulo hanggang paa, 'di ba? So ano siya, nakakadagdag siya sa waste ano. But, be that as it may, as I was saying 'no, the average Filipino can buy goods and services equivalent to that amount in international dollars, which is 8,581 'no. Ano na 'yan, in average na 'yan, overall na 'yon kasi 8,000 is a huge number pa rin. But, mayroon silang ano, parita na computation na ginagawa. So it's still relatively lower compared to developed nations. And this means that Philippine peso can buy less compared to currencies in countries with higher purchasing power. Pag sa ibang bansa mo ikukumpara ang Pilipinas, napakaliit pa rin yun. Okay? So evident siya sa mga produkto na nakikita natin. A sari-sari store owner sets prices differently from a major supermarket, like SM or Pure Gold. So nung nakaraan ano, parang yung previous meetings natin, nagpa-compare ako sa inyo ng pricing and majority of you or if not all ay nakita niyo na iba talaga yung presyo ng ng isang supermarket, ng isang grocery store, sa isang sari-sari store. Definitely mas mura sa sari-sari store ano. Kasi, um, yung ino-offer din nila na sizes or yung quantity is bigger as of course the size of the store gets big. So sari-sari store maliit siya, yung mga tig-pipiso lang ang kaya niyang ibenta, ₱10 or less. small businesses may use cost plus pricing while larger retailers use market-based or competition-based pricing. So mamaya makikita ninyo itong mga types ng pricing na ito, no? So what is cost plus, what is cost plus pricing, what is market-based, or what is competition-based. So we are going to look at that, ano? When you say cost plus pricing, so it is markup pricing, ano? Selling price is equals to cost plus markup. So yung cost, yung halaga ng produkto, tapos nagpatong doon yung, let's say, sari-sari store or a karinderya or a hardware, right? So karinderya, small food businesses, binibili nila yung ingredients nila, lututuin nila yan, and then ibebenta nila yan for 50 pesos. 50 peso meal. Okay? Adding a 40% markup, selling it for 70 pesos. So tumubo siya ng 20 doon sa isang meal that costs roughly 50 pesos. Or a hardware store and retail business like for example, Wilcon or Ace, naglalagay pa sila ng markup after nilang bumili ng construction materials from let's say a Holcim or Republic Cement, pinapatungan din nila yan, ano? Kasi hindi ka naman pwedeng bumili ng retail sa mga construction firms na yun, ano? Pwede ka bang pumunta sa Republic Cement, bibili ka isang sakong semento lang? Hindi naman, di ba? So, ang bilihan dyan, bultuhan. Tapos, yung mga businesses na ito, parang sila yung katumbas ng sari-sari store for construction. Yung mga Wilcon at Ace na yan. So, you can buy there pa isa-isa. Right? So, mabibili mo siya ng paisa-isa, but there is a markup. No, papatungan nila yan, syempre. Kailangan din naman kasi kumita nitong mga small players. No? So, that is cost plus pricing. No? So, advantages, it's simple. Napakasimple lang yan. Kahit sa e-commerce, ganyan din naman ang ginagawa. No? Just admitting a couple of people, nakakapasok lang. Ano? So, it's simple, bibili ka, papatungan mo, make sure profit ka na. Okay? Easy to apply for small businesses. So, maliit kang business, bibili ka lang, you buy and sell. What are the cons? It ignores the competition and customer perception of value. Mamaya, we'll look deeper into this. Ano? So, hindi mo masyado kailangan tingnan yung competition. Why? Because again, binili mo siya ng 50 eh. No? Kailangan mo talaga magpatong doon. And it may not work in highly competitive markets. So, yung cost plus approach, hindi siya magandang gamitin if nasa highly competitive environment ka. Like there are many players, tapos maliit lang yung, kumbaga easily accessible yung other players in cost plus in a certain market. So, hindi siya bagay gamitin doon kasi sa ganung klase ng environment, talagang kailangan mo tingnan yung competition mo. So mamaya we'll look into the competition pricing. So now let's go to value-based pricing. So pricing based on customers' perceived value rather than the production cost. No? So kanina, you have the production cost, nagpatong ka, nagmarkup ka. Whereas with value-based, no, you try to position your brand offering a certain value. Meron kang value add na nilalagay doon sa business mo. Bukod pa sa value added tax, no? Ito yung value na other businesses do not offer, and it is your justification for your pricing. Bakit ganito yung presyo na ginawa ko? It works well for premium and branded products where customers are willing to pay for more quality, experience, or brand reputation. So pupunta sila dito because they want the experience, they want the food quality, they want the reputation. They are paying for something else that's not available on the competition or another vendor, right? So, for example, Yum Burger, 45 to 50 pesos, no? So kung bibili ka ng Angel's Burger, right? Not trying to demean Angel's Burger, kumakain din ako nun paminsan-minsan. But what's the interpretation ba pag Angel's Burger? Okay. 'Di ba sa Angel's Burger, isang kagat kalawang agad ano, tama ba? Parang parang unang kagat kalawang agad o di kaya o di kaya ano ba tawag nito? Galit yung nagtitinda, mainit yung ulo, right? So, buy one take one nga yan, yung 50 pesos mo, it's buy one take one, solve na kayo, lalo na galing ka sa BSU. Yan yung mga magandang ilagay sa labas ng school, no? Maglagay ka ng mga buy one take one ng mga burger. Kasi budget friendly siya eh. It serves the particular market, right? They're not looking for hindi ko hinahabol yung langhap sarap sa Jollibee, 'di ba? 'Di ba sabi nga nila sa Jollibee, sakay ka ng aircon bus no, tas doon ka mag-open ng Jollibee Burger para mga asar ka lang ng mga tao. Kasi alam ng tao, the value there is the yung lasa, yung sarap. It's really Jollibee burger, no? So, nung nagwo-work pa ako sa Jollibee, ewan ko kung meron dito sa inyo nagwo-work sa fast food, ano. Nung nasa college ako, nag-work ako for Jollibee. So, part-time ako noon, working student. So, yung burger ay, ang secret niyan is yung SBD na tinatawag or secret burger dressing. So alam yan ng mga kung meron man dito na nagwo-work sa Jollibee or sa McDonald's, na we call that SBD. So yung SBD, hanggang ngayon nga kabisado ko pa yung kung paano magbalot ng burger. Last time kumain kami ng misis ko, pina-take out ko yung burger. Hindi nila binalot kasi parang siguro bawal, I don't know, baka bawal ngayon sa sanitation protocols. Binigyan lang nila ako nung pambalot ng burger. Ako nag-wrap, pinakita ko sa wife ko. So I still know it kahit na 20, 30 years ago na ako nag-work sa Jollibee. So yan, you're paying so for the 50 pesos, mas mahal siya relatively if you would buy from an Angel's Burger or at a local eatery, but the customer are paying for the brand experience, the taste, consistency. Yung presyo niyan, yun yung binabayaran mo, yung lasa ng Yum Burger, yung SBD, okay? Taste consistency, service quality. So pagpasok mo, you want to be inside the Jollibee restaurant, tagpapalamig ka lalo ngayon, high heat index, tambay muna tayo sa Jollibee. O bibili lang siya ng isang burger, bibili lang siya ng isang Coke, float pa rin ba? Coke float or Choco float, and then tatambay siya ng matagal doon. Kasi may mga value add eh. Like yung upuan, yung amoy, yung aircon, plus social ka doon, nasa loob ka, right? So yun yung binabayaran mo doon. You're paying for the value. And mind you, value is subjective, okay? Tatandaan yan, value is subjective. What's valuable to you may not be valuable for me, vice versa. Magkakaiba tayo ng perception ng value. Another example, local fashion brands price items higher than Divisoria sellers because of perceived brand value. So sino dito ang nagpupunta ng Divisoria? Kahit raise hands na lang or taas kamay or heart, ganun Mahilig magpunta ng si Justin. Yan. Mahilig magpunta ng Divisoria, mahilig bumili doon. Although hindi ko alam kasi parang for women, yan may naka-heart. Ayan. Women kasi, ewan ko correct me if I'm wrong, no? Parang, although maraming kumikita talaga ngayon sa online selling ng mga clothes, no? I know people personally, and even graduates ng BSU na talagang ang laki na ng kinikita nila, nagla-live selling lang sila, no? Pero kasi ako, ang perception ko sa damit, although may mga binibili din naman ako na damit sa Shopee, no? Kaya nga lang, ang ginagawa ko, bibili muna ako ng isa. Tapos, gusto ko muna makita yung fit. Bago ako bumili ulit doon sa store na yun. Whereas kapag bumili ka physical store, masusukat mo kagad. Right? So yan, meron tayong e-commerce competition na mini-mention. But again, going back to value-based pricing, mura sa 168, mura sa Divisoria, medyo magkamukha naman yung itsura, pero for one, yung quality magkaiba talaga. Okay? And then another, you're buying the logo. Binibili mo yung logo ng Uniqlo na original Kasi ewan ko baka may imitation din ng Uniqlo. Pero makikita mo yan sa etiketa or makikita mo dun sa pagka-emboss na it's really original and then yung isa ay peke. 'Di ba? So, that's what you are buying. You're buying the logo. Kasi kumari, bumili ka Uniqlo ng damit, it's just white tee. White t-shirt. O di kaya plain. Walang mga nakalagay na kung ano-ano. Pero may maliit na nakalagay dito sa ilalim. Uniqlo. Yun yung binili mo. Right? Bukod dun sa you want to look good, you want to reward yourself, maganda yung feel ng cotton, right? You're buying the brand value. Binibili mo yung logo, yung brand value. Although marami nga ring imitation ngayon, Pero syempre, people can tell if you're wearing an imitation or hindi, So, store ambience, advertising efforts, I don't know who is the endorser of Uniqlo. Maybe it's a Korean star, tapos idol mo yung Korean star na yon, and because of that, bibili ka ng Uniqlo. Something like that. Right? Parang ako, may mga wrestling superstars ako na idol, yun din yung kino-content ko sa aking YouTube. So, bumibili ako ng damit nila. Right? Because more than being a content creator, I'm a fan of the brand. Right? Meron ako nakikitang value doon. The value is me wearing it, yung logo, the wrestling. That's what I want. Right? More than the comfort. Okay? So I hope naintindihan niyo what I'm trying to say here. Okay? The good thing with value-based pricing is that you can maximize the profit. Bakit? Kasi pwede mo siyang itodo yung presyo eh. Meron ba dito nakakaalam magkano ang presyo ng isang Uniqlo shirt? Kasi again, hindi ako bumibili doon. Meron ba makakapagsabi sa akin like how much is the price for a standard Uniqlo na t-shirt? Let me know kahit comment lang Tapos bibili ka ng imitation. Yung imitation mabibili mo for 100 plus. And maybe when you buy a Uniqlo shirt, it's 1,000 or 700 or 800. Pwede mong itodo yung price eh. Pwede mong alam yun, lakihan mo ng lakihan depending on the value that they are seeing on your brand. Right? Example, yung Balenciaga, May bumili ka ng isang cup ng Balenciaga na worth hundreds of thousands if not a million. It's just a plain cup. Right? Cup lang siya na may nakasulat lang na Balenciaga. Right? Pwede mong itodo yung profit eh. Kasi again, it is the value that they see. So whatever the value is for that person, it's the brand that I'm buying. I want to look rich, so I'm going to buy this, etc. So you can, jack up the prices. Okay? Builds a strong brand identity. So yun. So, yes, status symbol, correct, no? So yan, according to Justin, it is status symbol. Okay. Okay, sorry late ko na nabasa, Cherry. Recorded naman to. Mamaya magbibigay ako ng instruction para dun sa mga hindi naka-join. Okay? So, ayun. So, going back. So, yan, you're buying the status symbol. So, pwede mong itodo yung prices. And, of course, may advantages, may disadvantages. It can lead to lower sales kasi dahil mahal nga siya, hindi nila kayang bumili. Tapos, kung hindi naman na, alam mo yon yung the value to price ratio is not equal, tingin nila, mahal naman nito, wala ka namang, ano naman yan, di ba? So, konti yung sales mo. Wala masyadong bibili kasi masyadong mahal. But people are willing to buy or willing to pay for the price as long as there is value. Kahit yung Apple, every year, labas sila ng labas ng bago, okay pa yung phone mo, but you want to buy. Kasi you want the latest, you want to show people that you can buy an Apple phone or an iPhone, right? So requires strong branding and marketing investment. So una, mag-invest ka ng todo sa marketing and branding. You want to hire the biggest influencers, the biggest celebrities to back up your brand, no? Kasi kapag ka, totoo naman yan eh, for example, nito nakaraan yung mga nauso yung labubo. Hindi ko rin ma-gets bakit. Pero it turns out it is backed by parang a Korean parang K-pop group or whatever, right? So dahil doon, tumaas yung demand, ang daming bumili, right? So marketing investment, they paid for these people to show that they have the product. Tapos susunod na yung mga customer. Susunod na yung fandom ng tao na yon. Bibili lahat sila, right? Jollibee, you have the biggest endorsers. McDonald's, you have the biggest endorsers. Hindi sila kumukuha ng mga kung sino-sino lang, right? Eh, ang mahal ng talent fee ng mga yon. Okay? So, malaking investment is what we're trying to say. That's a disadvantage, but if you pull it off, malaki din naman ang kikitain ng business mo. Okay, again, as I've said earlier, value is subjective. Iba-iba tayo ng interpretation ng value. Some are looking at the tree, others are looking at the fruit, and then others are looking to sell the wood from the tree or the fruit from the tree. Iba-iba tayo ng interpretation ng value. Highly subjective yan. Okay, next we have market-based pricing. So pricing determined by market trends, demand, seasonality, customer behavior, rather than just cost. Alam naman natin ang expensive lumipad. Ang expensive sumakay ng airplane, right? Nung nagpunta ako nung nakaraan Europe, almost 100,000 na nagastos ko for my flight. Back and forth na yun, ano? Eh, if I want comfort, kukunin ko yung mga mas mahal na pwedeng direct flight na o di kaya yung napakaliit ng layover. But of course, I'm working in a budget, tight budget. Doon ako sa 3 stopover. Okay, pero okay lang din at least nakapunta ako na iba-ibang lugar, no? Kaya nga lang ang hirap nun for the passenger, nakakapagod 'yun, ano? Marami kang bitbit, daan ka ng daan ng immigration, you have to explain why are you here, etc., etc. So mahal ang flight. Pero bakit may mga piso fare, bakit local flights, ayan no, even yung mga ayan no, Kaohsiung, Taipei, Seoul, Korea, may mga 3,000 lang international trips na pwede. Because meron siyang seasonality, may mga panahon na hindi ganun karami ang pumupunta sa kanila, may mga panahon na mataas, okay? Businesses will adjust the prices based on the seasonality, inflation, and other economic conditions. So market-based pricing yan. Airfares fluctuate based on peak seasons, promotions, and demands. Lowers the fare during seat sales, higher fares during holiday. So yung mga piso sale na yan, nakatapat yan doon sa mga panahon na walang bumibisita on a certain location. For example, Bora, no? Bora, kailan walang pupunta dyan? Pagka puro bagyo na. No, maybe November or December. So, mag-i-schedule sila na may mga piso fare going to these locations kasi kailangan pa rin nilang pumunta nun eh. Kasi may mga nag-book na originally na pupunta sila on that place, hindi piso fare. So, nagbayad siya. Kunwari, ang fare niya ay 20,000. Nagbayad na siya ng seat eh. Eh, hindi mo na puno yung seating capacity ng plane. Para ma-maximize mo, mag-offer ka na ng mga sale. Tapos pag nandyan, saka mo na singilin ng mga added, mga taxes, or singilin mo sila ng mga miscellaneous fees or whatever, at least nandyan na sila. Nakukuha, no? So, kumbaga parang na-hold up mo na sila. Nandyan na sila. Magbabayad din yan. Ano? So, ganon. Okay? Yung mga hidden charges, doon na maglalabasan lahat yan. Okay? It is a strategy, of course. But rather than fly a plane na isa, dalawa, 3 tao lang laman, punuin mo na yan. Kasi ganun pa rin naman ang gagastusin mo eh. No? Same fuel, same energy cost, same bayad sa personnel. So, ganun, might as well fill the plane, right? So, ganun din yan. Seasonality, okay? Condo units in Metro Manila are priced based on demand and location, competitor prices, no? So yung isang condo in Makati ay sobrang mahal kung i-compare mo siya sa Cavite. Bakit? Makati is a business district. Andiyan lahat ng mga BPO, mga firms, mga companies, no? So most probably yung mga condo units diyan always filled up dahil ang daming tao doon eh. Whereas if you will compare it to Cavite, wala naman masyadong business district, no? Hindi, if you would compare it to Makati, pareho lang naman yung construction cost on building the same, kunwari, 40 square unit or condo unit. Pareho lang naman sila ng ginamit na materials, yung labor, etc. Pero bakit mas mahal nung nasa Makati ka? Bakit mas mura nung nasa Cavite? Kasi nga, again, it is dependent on the location. As I have mentioned in the past sa inyo. Location is a key factor on the pricing. Okay? Advantages, responsive to market demand, and you can maximize the revenue during high demand period. So ganyan kapag ang ginamit mo ay market-based pricing, so you can take advantage of times na talagang mataas yung demand. Okay? And then ang disadvantage niya, of course, it's fluctuating, hindi siya steady. Okay, may time na wala namang bibili, may time na mataas. No? Unpredictable siya. It may not work well for essential goods with fixed cost. Okay? So yung product or service na binebenta mo has a fixed cost, baka dumating yung time, ibebenta mo siya, mas mahal pa yung cost or yung markup mo hindi na makaagapay doon sa market demand. So you have no choice, right? So you have to really carefully think what type of pricing applies for your product. Is it seasonal? Might as well go with market-based pricing. Okay? And then finally, we have competition-based pricing. So ito na yung sinasabi ko sa inyo kanina, na setting prices based on competitor pricing strategies. But of course, you really have a base, which is the cost. Kaya nga lang, hindi ka pwedeng magtaas ng todo kagaya nung sa kanina na i-value based mo siya. Hindi pa pwede. Why? Because you have a stiff competition. Malakas yung competition. Right? Rather than solely on cost or perceived value, common in industries where price comparison is easy and customers are price sensitive. Okay. So you have Smart and Globe, you have all these gasoline, petroleum players, no? So fuel prices are adjusted frequently to match or compete with other stations. I don't know about you, most of you siguro may mga vehicles, whether motor, kotse, aminin natin sa hindi, we look for saan mas mababa. Tama ba? Pupunta ka sa, I forgot the name of the ano. Basta sa may malapit sa Tongko, may yung hilera doon, ano? Nakalimutan ko lang yung mga pangalan ng gasolinahan doon. Basta tinitingnan ko lang yung presyo. Although, syempre, there will be cases na hindi ka na mag-shop for pricing eh. Lalo na kung malapit ka na mawala ng gas. The nearest gasoline station would be your option. O, sa Uno, mura din yan. No? Mura dyan sa Uno. Refill. Refill is also cheap. Ano? Tapos, ayun. Although sa atin, kasi sa labas ng university, ang common talaga na mapagpapagasan ko, yung sa may dulo na ng Kaypian. No? Parang F1 yata yun, if I'm not mistaken. So, yun eh. Yun yung common eh. Kasi yun yung palagi kong dinadaanan. Pero minsan, kapag may time, tapos may bibilin, mag-grocery kami sa Robinson, dun sa stretch ng, ayan, yung nabanggit kanina, Uno, Refill, dun kami papagas. Kasi mas mura talaga dun. Okay? Pero, again, yung pricing nila, kailangan nilang itapat eh. Pag nag-56 yung isa, lalapit ka lang doon, 57, 58, hindi pwedeng sobrang taas. Otherwise, walang pupunta sa'yo. Or yung pag sa Santa Maria, makikita mo, Bokawe, yung isang gasolinahan, punong-puno yung mga refill doon. Ang haba ng pila. Tapos yung katabing gasolinahan, walang pumipila. Kasi talagang yun yung standard eh, Caltex o di kaya Shell. Ang mahal talaga, right? Same goes with, let's say, Globe or Smart. And dito, no? Yung isa nag-offer ng 50 pesos na 3 gigabyte data. Wala kang magagawa. Kailangan mo sabayan yan. Kailangan kong mag-ano rin dyan. Mag-offer ng 50 pesos na package. Why? Because the competition is offering it. Kailangan mong sabayan yung competition is what I'm trying to say. Parang sa Divisoria din kanina, yung example natin. Hindi ka pwedeng mag-value-based pricing doon. Nasa Divisoria ka eh. Lahat ng pumupunta dyan, price conscious. Kaya nga sila nagpunta ng Divisoria eh, di ba? So, magmamahal ka dyan, eh yung mga katabi mo, ang presyo nila ganito. O t-shirt, 100. T-shirt, 150. Tapos ang presyo mo, sobrang mahal. Sa mall ka na lang pumwesto. Di kaya mag-ano ka, lumipat ka ng location. Right? The pros helps businesses remain competitive in price-sensitive markets. So, ayan, petroleum, telco, price-sensitive talaga mga tao dyan. Ano? Easy to implement by monitoring competitor pricing. So, hindi mo kailangan manghula. Right? Hindi mo kailangan manghula. Monitor mo lang yung competition mo. O nag-50 sila, kailangan 49, 51 lang tayo. Or 50, tatapatan natin. Right? Can lead to price wars, reducing profitability. Yang price wars, very common yan. It happens all the time. Sa Divisoria, sa Shopee, sa Lazada, price wars all the time. Okay? Why? Kasi kapag ikaw yung mababa yung presyo, ikaw yung number one na lalabas sa results, ikaw yung mas marami kang customer, mas marami kang reviews, you will become a featured or trusted seller. Ganun yun eh. Right? Price wars. No? Ignores product differentiation and unique selling points. Okay. Price is what you pay, value is what you get. So as I mentioned earlier, value is subjective. The price can fluctuate depending on the value that is being seen. And we've also covered several types of pricing. So marami ring factors that affects the prices of certain commodities. Right? So here is your assignment, no? So you write one important lesson you've learned from this discussion and then give an example of a business startup. Example, kunwari, dun sa ibibigay mo, milk tea. Ano magandang gamitin sa kanya? Value-based, competition-based pricing, cost-plus markup. You tell, you justify. Okay? So, ibibigay ko sa inyo yung where you will put your answer. Okay? Hindi nyo isusulat siya, no? Hindi nyo siya isusulat sa papel. I'll give you a venue where you will place your answers. Pantay na lang sa GC, okay? So that would be all. Let me stop sharing. Any questions? Concerns?
Pwede po magpa-send ng lesson.
Lesson, you mean the PowerPoint?
Yes po.
Sure, sure. I'll send it.
Thank you po.
Okay, so ayun ano, again, thank you so much. Stay safe everyone ano, and don't forget to fill out the attendance. Thank you so much po.
Thank you po. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.